just came in from the beauty parlor.
Yeah.
Haircut number 6.
Number 6 out of 6.
I've been working on the dining room. Oh, look at that. Your head's going away. Sorry about that. I'm just showing the dining room a little bit. Woo, that blue is awesome. Okay.
I love the blue.
We still got to get curtains and stuff. Okay, so how was your birthday, my love?
It was great. It's great to be my age.
It's weird because you can't just like pop out to the store over here. You got to go to town, and nothing was a surprise because I had to tell you a day ahead of time that I had to leave a day ahead of time just to go get you a card and some.
Yeah, that's all right. We're just in a secluded area of Texas.
No, nothing's a secret. Oh no, the dogs.
There you go. You know they won't be coming in.
Hang on, maybe I'll get him.
Turk.
God, it's always a dog thing. Oh, God. The cats are nice. Dogs are always.
Cats don't make any noise, you know.
No, they're lovely and quiet. So you had a nice birthday and a whole lot of birthday wishes.
Yeah, I couldn't respond to everybody. There's thousands of people, and I just have to do a blanket thank you to everybody for thinking about me and remembering my birthday.
Yeah, you're talking about Facebook. Yeah.
No, period. That just on. I've got 3 sites, or 3 or 4. There's a Derek and a Domino site, and that came about not from me looking to have a lot of people on a Facebook site. It just so happened when I started that was just to get some response from somebody who was an artist, who was a painter, to see what my painting looked like. Because you told me that it was great and beautiful, and I thought, well, that's wonderful, but I want to find something outside. Coco is real close to me, so I wanted to find some outside. So I opened a Facebook account and asked for artists to give me their opinion on my first painting. And it came back, wow, this is great. It looks like, it's Monet-ish and Renoir-ish and all. I didn't even know who these people were.
Well, you knew who Monet was. But
well, by name, I didn't know his art or anything.
You know Turner, and that painting behind him was very
after I found out about Turner, long after I started painting, when I discovered that this is what I do and who I am, I wanted to find out who my contemporaries were and how far back this thing goes. And, mine is not too out of line with every other painter in the world, my coming to it. Because you don't go looking for it. It's something that comes to you. It's just another form of artistic creativity, like writing a song with paint, or singing a song with paint. It's all the same. It's all one creative force. But there's a lot of different creative forms, There's only one creative law, and that same law applies to everything that there is, whether it's building a house, a bridge, designing a car, or anything, airplane, whatever it may be. There's only one creative law, and I managed to tap into that. When it dawned on me that was what everything Eric would play, and last time I saw him, I said, boy, that's a great spot. One time tonight, he said, I do it every now and then. I get it, reach that thing. But that's what he's looking to tap into, that creative principle or law. And it's the same one applies for music and everything. And when it came to me that, wow, it's just like playing a guitar solo, I just had to think differently and interpret what was coming to me differently. So it's no different than, my painting is no different than me playing a Hammond B3. And I'm a great Hammond B3 player. And I think my art is great. I love what I do. I feel blessed to have this thing happen to me. I don't even know how many paintings I have now. But way on up there, and they're all beautiful. Because every bit of it is consciousness manifested, and you can see it on canvas, and it's more of a thrill doing what I'm doing than standing in front of 150,000 people trying to hear yourself sing, or hear the band, Boy, I'll tell you, this is, I'm blessed, grateful, and all of these other things
Well, you can tell that you love it because as soon as the topic comes up, you go off. I mean, so, it's,
well,
you love it.
Yeah, I'm passionate about what I do.
Well, that's the key to everything is the
Yeah.
passion. So, anyway, so you wanted to thank everyone for the birthday.
Yeah, for sure. It really means a lot to me, But like I said, I can't get back to everybody, so we figured let's just wait and do a blanket. Thank you, everybody. I'm 75 and doing great, I've made it through all those pits and valleys and mountains, and I'm sure there'll be more along the way, but that's life, Sometimes you can do it, and sometimes you can't. You just have to sit through it, and then pick yourself up, and own it,
Well, you create your own world.
Yeah,
I mean, we both know that.
yeah.
Imagination creates reality.
Yeah, it does. That's a real interesting something I'm sure everybody doesn't give it a thought, but everything that's in this world that you see, someone thought about it, imagined it to be a wheel, a car, an airplane, a house, a hammer. Everything that there is, somebody had to design it and put it together, So imagination, use your imagination. So many times that one passed me by. Just use your imagination, Bobby.
Yeah, because I think people think it's more complicated than it really is.
Yeah.
Because
I imagine so.
I think people would equate it with like Einstein and these people that's what they did.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, he didn't get his knowledge from a book. He was born doing what he did, and with that aspect.
Anyway, I won't go into the other thing. Okay, well, I like your blue background here. It looks pretty.
Yeah, you great paint, Coco. You're amazing.
I'm working on this room for about just over a month, and the whole thing. You could see the whole thing and see it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
one room at a time.
I was just gonna say, one room at a time. You've been doing this thing. She didn't allow me to pick up a brush.
It's a different thing. Wait a minute now.
My painting is different than hers.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, altogether.
It's really different. Like a designer is not a painter.
No.
So it's a different thing. So anyway, we wanted to do this one response to somebody who had asked a question because they were unable to find the video where you were talking about the jacket that Jim Gordon wore.
Oh, French.
You could tell the story for this guy so that his wife could see.
Well, we were playing in Madison Square Gardens in New York City. Delaney and Bonnie and all of us were on tour, and there was a guy. It was cold as it could be. There was a guy sitting on a sidewalk. He was sitting on an iceberg about as big as his table, and he had his girlfriend with him.
Iceberg?
Block of ice.
Okay, sorry. Well, that was.
And when it gets this big, it's an iceberg.
Well, I thought you were kidding. That's why.
No, there's a big block of ice on the side of the street in New York where they've been plowing all this stuff up, cleaning it up, and he was sitting on a big block of ice.
Okay.
And I guess that's how they landed it. I'm not for sure, but he was sitting there and he had this beautiful French jacket, leather shirt on. Wow! I told the bus driver, "Hold it right here." And so I turned to Bruce. I said, "Give me 2 tickets and a backstage pass," And he gave me 2 tickets and a backstage pass. Bruce McCaskill. He was our road manager with the Dominoes. He was road manager with Cream, Delaney and Bonnie, Derek and the Dominoes. Anyway, I told him, give me 2 tickets and a backstage pass. I want that shirt. So they stopped the bus. I ran across the street, and I told the guy, I said, hey, because they couldn't get in, it was sold out. I said, I got 2 tickets and a backstage pass, and I'll give you the shirt and coat off my back for that shirt you got on. He peeled it off right then and there. We did a trade. I went back onto the bus. Everybody was applauding, you know. So that was my leather shirt on the domino thing where Jim's looking like all cool. That was my shirt, you see. And it's also on the cover on one of my albums, my first album, or second album. But he couldn't get dressed. Jim, Eric, a fine dresser. But Jim always dressed like he was in the closet and got dressed in the closet in the dark. He had no sense of style whatsoever. And so I put it on him and let him wear my leather shirt. I'm glad I did.
How did it fit? Because he was a big guy.
Yeah, well, the shirt was a long shirt.
Yeah.
And I wore it on Eric's first solo album cover.
Yeah.
On the back were all of us, Leon and all of us standing in there, and I had my friend's shirt on.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's funny. Some things stand out.
What happened to that shirt?
I gave it to somebody.
No.
Yeah, I gave it to a guy, and it disappeared. You know, he disappeared. I knew he wanted it real bad, so I figured I'd better go ahead and give it to him. And and he disappeared. He worked for me when I was with the Greif Garris organization, Jimmy Miller's company, during my first 2 solo albums. He was one of these guys. They come and they go, you know, in one door and out the other. But I told him to put this on your way out. And I don't have really anything from my past because I gave it all away. You know, what wasn't stolen from me, I just gave away. You know, drag around all that nonsense. You know, that had one thing to do with who I am, my character, you know, my personal self-esteem. You know, it wasn't in gold and platinum albums all over the place and Ferraris and all of that. Oh, that's fun to go through, but it's not a lifestyle I'd like to try to keep up. You know, and so that's just what happened to all of those things. I really don't have too much from my past. You know, you could probably put it in a box, and that would be it.
I was going to say, you did have a chest somewhere that disappeared.
It was full of it, and it disappeared. But that's all right.
With a bunch of photos, I mean, just...
Yeah. And I took a bunch of photos one time. When we went on the road with Delaney and Bonnie and Eric, we were overseas, and George came, and there's a lot of people. I had Ginger Baker was, you know, the blind faith thing. I had photos of everybody picking their nose, you know. I guess it's just as well as that got lost.
Seemed to be a lot of nose picking.
And then shuffle.
Get that done.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, it's good to see you back. It's good to do another video.
Well, you know, it's good to know that the rich and famous do pick their noses. I've seen it. It's documented. I guess one of these days.
Sometimes you just need to keep things to yourself.
Yeah, well, it's too late, isn't it?
It is now. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. See you guys later.
Thanks for the nice birthday wishes.
Yeah, it really is great. Thank you all very much.
The balloons are still hitting the ceiling,
Oh,
aren't
I love the blue. 9 shades of blue, all in one.
they? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.